Kelly, what's your fondest memory of church as a child?
My fondest memory was so I'm Catholic, so we have like floating time. So you got the Saturday evening masses you could go to, which I took full advantage of when I was in high school. And my fondest memory of church is sitting there with uh, someone else and two other gentlemen who were classmates came in and sat towards the back of the church. And the individual turned over to next to me and said, you know, this is ridiculous that they're in church for because I know what's going to happen in an hour here. These guys shouldn't be here. And he was right. I think that's exactly what was going to happen there. So it was sinners trying to scrub up before doing some more sinning. So that's where I'll go. I know that, and if you can find it, confine it to, I know you have probably 10, but why don't you give me your top one church happy moment?
Well, sir, unlike you, there's nothing but wholesomeness for mine. It's sitting in the pew in a crowded Christmas Eve mass, playing with my Tiger LCD watch, which had a video game, air quotes, Double Dragon on there. I was a huge Double Dragon fan. This didn't look or play anything like that, but it said Double Dragon on the watch. And technically, I was playing a game. Even if it sort of looked like a calculator with some moving numbers on it, I wasn't paying attention to church and was technically playing a game. And the watch looked cool, and that's all I needed. And luckily for us, it seems like Atari is trying to recapture some of that LCD watch magic with their new, what was it called?
My Play Watch.
My Play Watch. I don't like that name,
I
but
don't
with the
either.
new My Play Watch, which looks pretty cool. It's got, classic Atari branding on there, and color scheme. It is a smartwatch, although it doesn't appear that it syncs with anything specific. It will, keep track of your steps and things like that on there. But most importantly, it will let you play a couple of Atari games on there. Now, we've discussed on here before, you guys know Kelly and I are both big Atari guys. Kelly basically, his entire ecosystem of his life is Atari based at this point. Atari coins are his only currency that he's adopted. He only stays at Atari Hotel. He's in an Atari Hotel right now. He eats, sleeps, and breathes Atari all the time, and I'm not that far behind. So we love Atari here, but we have discussed many times we have many ways to play some of these games. So I'm going to assume just the ability to play these games on something else isn't going to be enough to sway you in what I guess will also be a skip it listed by it situation. So I guess really the next question after the obvious of your favorite church memory is, are you a watch guy?
So I am a watch guy in terms of one watch, a watch that does capture steps and all the other information and is able to send it somewhere. So 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 a smart-ish watch. I don't have to have the Apple Watch, but I need to have a watch that ideally has GPS because as established in many shows, I have no sense of direction. So Google Maps is helpful, GPS is helpful. Um, I do like to kind of keep track of other things as well, and to have a watch that can do it and actually then sync up with some other software, big benefit. Um, I think some watches are incredibly cool, but the whole once we moved into the smartwatch generation, I said not only is this kind of cool, it actually serves a good utility for me. So I've always worn a watch, and it's just gotten better as I've just moved to, I have a Versa 4, so which is a smart-ish watch, but it does the job, has all the things I just talked about on it. So that's kind of where I land. Um, how about you?
So I used to be an all the time watch guy. I've fallen out of that in recent years, but it is interesting the timing of this because I have been looking at watches. I feel like I would like to get back into wearing a watch. And for some of the same reasons, the smartwatch stuff. So I do like I have a pedometer and different things like that on my phone. Then there's times I just don't have my phone on me, so it's not really doing me any good there. So I'm watch curious, about to fall off of, I'm teetering off of the no watch bandwagon that I've been on for a while, falling off that no watch wagon. So I have been looking at some watches. So the timing of this is interesting. Now, the real question though is the Atari branding and the games included enough to make you buy this watch to add this to your collection, sir?
Well, they had, I mean, they're learning, and then that they offered a watch that was clocking in at $500. And I don't know how many of those they sold. Um, it was a little more feature rich, I think, than this. This one's going to clock in. It's in pre-order only right now, 79.99. June 10th is when they'll start to ship. Um, it does come with multiple bands, and they all look got that nice kind of cool Atari retro action going on. The watch itself is pretty cool looking overall. They've done some interesting things to simulate the buttons looking like the joystick button, and it'll actually kind of flip so you can use it more like a paddle as well. Um, so yeah, it's a buy it for me, but it's gonna be like one of those weird watches that like I probably seldom gonna wear because ideal places are like the comic book convention, some of that stuff. That's the place to be cruising around with an Atari watch on. But on those conventions, you're getting in a lot of steps, and so I want to make sure I'm capturing those and relaying those onto all the various apps that hover over me on an hourly basis, checking on different things. So um, Las Vegas would be another great place when I'm staying at the Atari Hotel that will be built there. But again, it's the land of many steps. And so I want to make sure that those get into the cloud and kept forever from there. So I'm a buy it. I'll have some splaining to do on why bought a watch that I never wear. But I'll try and find, maybe I'll wear it when we record or something like that. But I mean, price is great. So I think I'm in. And you?
I think right now I'm still listed. I do think the price is great. Again, as Kelly mentioned, they initially had launched a $500 watch. That's a hard no for me on that one. Speaking of hard no, make sure you guys check out the World Shortest podcast right here on Bob Panda. But looking at this, I mean, this is a lot more affordable. I am in the market for a watch. But to Kelly's point, though, this puts me in a position where I'm probably not going to wear this all the time. If I go for a hike somewhere, I'm not going to wear this watch. I need something that's better suited for that and probably a little more durable, and capturing those steps, like Kelly said. So, do I want to buy two watches? Is really what it comes down to. So that's where I'm not sure yet if I'm buying two watches. If I'm only buying one watch, unfortunately, it's not going to be this. So that's where, because I need something that's more versatile than this. So that's where the listed for me is coming in at.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have a hard time turning it down. I mean, it's gonna have missile command on it, super breakout, um, Pong, and one other, which is eluding me right now. It's down there, right there on the screen. That's the fourth one. I just didn't want to say it, but those four games are there. So kind of cool setup. Also doesn't connect, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. So this is a what you get is what you get. And so you will not be adding additional. This will not be one of the many platforms where you can load it up with all the Atari ROMs and enjoy it. So uh, that's a shame, but I get it. I mean, that's how you get a $80 watch that can play Atari games, I guess. You probably
Now,
limit
if this
some
were
of
a
it.
beat 'em and eat 'em watch, I
Yeah,
might go up to 500
I'm not sure how they missed that. They could have had the whole catalog from that have been special, but no. Um, so, fellow Atarians out there or Atari adjacent folks, what do you think? Um, Interested in it? Like I said, tempting price. But the question is, do it. We can all get them and just wear them when we do YouTube things, and it can be a so the YouTube watch. This is where we wear it. But yeah, we'll have to see on that. But let us, like and subscribe if you would. That would be fantastic. Let us know in the comments if you're going to go for this. I do think they've done a nice job. It looks like a great product. I just wish it would talk to our app overlords a little bit because that would make it okay. I'm okay with just 4 games on it, the three I mentioned and that one, but the I'm okay with that. Just given the way the watch looks, and those are good. That's a good, nice, good selection. But I do think the ability to connect information there. Now, I don't know if you can create, hack it and create a plugin and have to have a second Wi-Fi broadcaster attached or something, but we'll have to see.
again. A slot to play the movie cart.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, it starts to build up. It becomes the virtual boy of watches at that point, but we'll see. All right, excellent. Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. And again, sorry if you're watching. Beat him and eat him on the watch.
Or if you want to just give us copies of your existing watch with a pretty good game selection, that we'd be happy to do it and talk about it even more and wear it every show and reach up with for things to show the watch off. So worth a shot.
Bog Panda.